Hi, this is prepared for Friday morning, June 11th, 2021. I'm indebted to Dr. David Fox for inspiring what I'm about to share with you. It's Friday morning. Shabbos is coming. And one of the special ways that we honor Shabbos is we add, before the Birkat Hamazon, before the benching, the grace after meals on Shabbos, we add a paragraph of Tehillim, of Psalms, that begins Shir Hamalos. It's Psalm number 126, and a deeper understanding of this passage will give us a deeper appreciation of Shabbos. And also, this paragraph holds a deep and complex message for the times that we are living through right now. Tehillim, the book of Psalms, was written by David HaMelech, King David, and it was written, our sages tell us, with Ruach HaKodesh. He was divinely inspired by God as he wrote it, which means that he wrote these poems and they include allusions to events in the future. Not exactly prophecy per se, but divinely inspired. So, in this psalm, David is writing about when the Jews David writes his book of Psalms when Jews were secure, living in Israel with Jerusalem as our capital. And in this psalm, he writes about the aftermath of a future exile. So the exile, with the destruction of the first temple, the first Beit HaMikdash, would happen about 400 years in the future. And David, in this paragraph, is writing about the aftermath of that, almost 500 years into the future. Shir Hamalos, a song to sing while ascending. Beshuv Hashem es Shivas Zion, when God will return us to Zion and Jerusalem after being exiled. So as we will be ascending to Jerusalem, we will sing this song. Now, that refers to a specific historic era, but the feeling of Beshuv Hashem es Shivas Zion is, on a micro level, what each of us can experience every Shabbos. As we return, the word Shabbos, related to the word shav, to return, Beshuv Hashem, all the same word. Because on Shabbos, we return from the exile and alienation and madness of the week. Shabbos is our weekly personal redemption and return to harmony and completeness and spiritual wholeness. And this process is also relevant when we are going through any struggle in life at any time, when we're going through any challenge, such as what we're going through now with COVID. And we are thinking about what will our lives be like when we return to normal, when we are redeemed, when we return from exile. And when that happened about 2,300 years ago, and when that happens to each of us every week as we usher in Shabbos, and when it will happen to us when our lives return to normal or a new normal, then, says the Psalm, then Yemole Schok Pinu, our mouths will be filled with laughter. Ulshonenu Rina, and our tongues will be filled with songs of joy. Higdil Hashem lasos imanu hayinu smechim. God will have done great things for us. We will surely be glad. Hazarim bedima, those who plant in tears, berina yiksoru, they will harvest in joy. That's what we have to look forward to. And that is how Shabbos should make us feel. But you'll notice I omitted a crucial phrase. Again from the beginning. Shir Hamalos B'shuv Hashem es Shivas Zion, a song while ascending, when God will return us to Zion from exile. Hayinu kecholmim. We were like dreamers. What does that mean? We were like dreamers. So among our classical commentators, we find conflicting answers. And we find answers that are particularly relevant to us now with what we are facing in our lives at this time. The Meiri, one of the great medieval commentators, says, once we return, once we are redeemed and the Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, is rebuilt, once Shabbos comes, once our lives get back to normal, we will look back at what we suffered, and it will be like a bad dream. We will remember it as if it was a nightmare, a bad dream. In other words, it will stay with us. It will never go away. We will continue to be affected by what we are going through and have gone through. And everyone will have to realize about each other and about ourselves that we are living in the aftermath of trauma. Dr. Bonnie Henry is the head of public health in British Columbia. At the very beginning of COVID, in March of last year, she declared a public health emergency. She never imagined that she would have to do such a thing. But along with the rest of the world, she did. And in her first news conference, which took place on March 17th, 2020, she ended her presentation with a line that she would come to repeat. It would become her trademark. She said, "This is our time to be kind. This is our time to be calm and to be safe." It was true then. It is certainly true now. And it will continue to be true even as we get back to normal. Hayinu kecholmim. This will continue to be our time to be kind and understanding to each other and to ourselves, because we will then be living in the aftermath of trauma. The Radak, another great commentator, understands it differently. And the truth is, both of these interpretations, though they conflict, coexist in truth and significance and relevance to our lives. The Radak says, when we return, when this is over, our present suffering will be like a fleeting dream because of the great joy we will experience when it is over. We're starting now to have experiences that we have missed for over a year, and the joy is indescribable. I can still remember, and I hope that I never forget, just about a year ago, what it felt like for the first time to be able to join a minyan, the first time in 3 months after our shul and other shuls were completely closed for 3 months. And to be able once again to answer Amen, to say Yehei Shmei Rabbah. I hope never to take that for granted again. And imagine, and we're starting to be able to imagine, how wonderful it will feel to be with each other in person, without distance, without inhibition, without precautions. Imagine how wonderful it will feel to re-enter a daf and to see all of our friends that we miss so much now, and to be inspired again by sublime and melodious prayer, and illuminating words of Torah, and delicious kiddush. Imagine what that will be like. We can dream of that now and look forward to it and plan now not to take it for granted when it returns. Tonight and tomorrow and every Shabbos, take a few moments to dream. Say these words slowly and thoughtfully. Hayinu kecholmim. We will be as if we had been dreaming. And look forward to Az Yemale Schok Pinu. Then our mouths will be filled with laughter. But keep in mind what it will take to get there. Hazarim bedima, barina yiksoru. Those who plant with tears, they will harvest in joy. It takes our tears. It takes our effort. It takes our sacrifice, our precautions, our concern for the mitzvah of v'nishmartem, concerning our health, getting vaccinated, our recognition of how serious this still is, even as things are improving so drastically, and we hope that it continues in that way. Hazorim bedima, we're doing that now. We're planting, we're preparing with tears and difficulty and sacrifice. And we ask God to bless us, as David promised, Barina Yiktsoru. May we harvest with joy. My friends, I want to wish you a great day and a wonderful Shabbos, filled with the promise of our best dreams.